Hello my book loving friends, it's Jigsaw here again, or as you know me, Jade. I'm here today to talk to you about my absolute favourite book series. I know what you're going to say. You say that about everything, you say this about every book you talk about. It's my favourite, I love it, it's my favourite. But no, honest to God guys, these are my favourite books ever. And this is a big reveal for me, like honest to God. They are called The Keepers. They are my all-time favourite books ever. Like, there's supposed to be 3 of them, but I kind of lent the first one to one of my friends, and I haven't got it back yet, and I knew I was making this video, but I kind of forgot, and I gave it to her anyway. So, oh well, there's 3 of them. It looks like the other one is just blue. But I found these books at, like, my peak stage of needing to either pick to read again or to stop reading forever. And so this would have probably been when I was in, like, grade 7 or 8. And it was, like, God, what, 2010, 2011 probably? So I've had them for a couple of years now, almost like 5 or 6 years now. I think I've read them at least twice a month. No, maybe not that much, but every couple of months I pick up these books and read them again. And it's just because I love them. They are like my all-time favourite books. But so I found them in one of those random cheapy bookstores, and when I first went in, I kind of wasn't sure whether or not to enter, kind of, because I wasn't in that reading phase anymore, but something on a whim, I just went in and I was like, I'm going to have a look around, I'm going to have a look for a book. So I actually stumbled across this book. It was the only copy they had in the store. And so I picked it up, and they're hardcover books. They're not cheap books normally, but I got this one for like $8-9. I can't remember off by heart, but it was really cheap for a hardcover book. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get it. Why not? And so I read the back, and I was like, yeah, this sounds good. I'll read it. So I bought it. And Mom's like, you bought a book? That's odd. You haven't read for ages. I'm like, yeah, I'll see what it's like. Might start reading again. I'm so glad I did that. So glad. But anyway, so I found that, and once I'd read it, it took me a couple of days to read it, because getting back into reading, for me, it took that little bit of time. But after I finished it, I did some research, and I actually had to wait an entire year for the second one to come out. And then when I got that one, I read it in like a day, and then had to wait another year for the next one to come out. But, so the first one is actually called The Keepers, Museum of Thieves. The second one is The Keepers, City of Lies. And the last one is The Keepers, Path of Beasts. Honestly, I love these book series because they're not a really difficult read, but they still challenge you enough with the language that's used, and some of the character names are a little bit hard to get around, and like, especially when you're reading out loud to someone, they're a little bit hard to pronounce, but other than that, I really think they're a good read for anyone who is kind of not sure about if they want to start reading again, or if they haven't read a book for a while and they kind of just want to start off easy, or if you've just read something really complicated and you just kind of want to chillax for a little bit and read something pretty easy. I recommend them. But they're not like really childish either. They have that little bit of childish theme to it, like that little bit of childish fun, but it's actually well written. So it's not like they're all like that. It's just there are parts of them that do keep that fun attitude to them, and I really like that about them, because they're the kind of thing that I read when I'm a little bit stressed out and I just kind of want to chill and I want to read something I know that'll make me laugh. And I really like them for that. And they have their good ups and downs. They follow a really nice book structure, story structure. And I think that's why I like Leanne Tanner and Ransom Riggs so much with their writing style, is that they both follow a very similar sort of writing style, and with that they have that little bit of fun thrown in every now and then, or those couple of jokes that they make. And it kind of just lightens the mood if it's a little bit of a situation in the book where something's getting antsy, or it's like the climax in the book. And I like that they do that because it keeps it interesting. But I really do love these books for those reasons, but also I think I love them for the other reason that they're the books that got me reading again. So I'm a little bit biased, but I still think they're amazing books. And I don't want to give anything away, but honestly, I think my favourite character in these books is the main character, Goldie Ross, or Golden Ross. And she is a really complex and really unique character. She is so interesting. She is not what I expected when I first picked them up. She is more than what I expected her to be. When I first I was expecting a little bit more of a 2D sort of character, but she is really, really complex. There is so much to do with her, and I love it. And especially her relationship with so many of the other characters. She really is the linchpin in these books. If you were to remove her, none of this would make sense at all, and it is really fantastic. But it's just that she is such an intriguing character, and every time I read them, I find something new about her that I love, and it's like, I honestly don't think I have loved a character more than I love Goldie. But honestly, I would recommend it to everybody, especially if you are having trouble reading something more complicated. This is kind of that stepping stone book that's kind of like, it brings you from your childhood fiction sort of stuff up to more of like that more adult sort of reading. It's kind of in between that sort of stuff. So it really is more of a teen fiction sort of book. And honestly, I think that most people will get a good laugh out of these books at least once. They don't actually sell a lot of these covers anymore, which makes me really sad because they're amazing and I love them so much. But I don't think they sell these covers anymore because they look like they're scratched up books that are like old and worn out. Like all this stuff isn't actually from where. This is just what the book cover is like. And honestly, I think that's what drew me into the first one so much. I actually want to get my first one repaired because it has a small rip in the back here. Because when I was younger, I wasn't taking care of my books and I'm like, how could I do that? But I kind of want to get it repaired because it is my favourite book, but I might just wait for a little while and see if I can find another one of the first copy. But, so I actually, honestly, I would recommend them to everybody. And I do. I've got my boyfriend hooked on them. It's great. It's hilarious because he hasn't actually finished the second one yet. I keep telling him to read it, but I have the copy and I don't give it to him and I keep forgetting to. So I feel a little bit bad that he doesn't actually get to finish them because of me, which makes me a little bit sad that he hasn't finished them because I can't like discuss it with him. So maybe I might do that now. Just might give it to him. But like, they're my favourite books. I can't trust anybody with them. But other than that, I really do think that they are a good read for anybody. No matter your reading level, they're kind of that in-between stepping stone. And I am biased, I really am. They are my favourite books. God, that thunder. I don't know if you guys can hear that on the video, but it's thunder and lightning all around here at the moment, which is great because where I am, we're in a drought at the moment. We're in like level 3 water restrictions. I have to water everything by hand. It's horrible. But other than that, I love them, and I hope you love them too, and give me your feedback if you've read them. If you haven't, I really do suggest them. Otherwise, give me another book and I'll have to get onto it and I'll read it. I'll have to buy a book. If you guys think there's a book that I will absolutely fall in love with, please comment it in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe. Later, guys.